Hey guys, Rich Boy J here, back again with another video, and this is going to be the Vardos mock build series part 2. I know this is supposed to come yesterday. In fact, it's quite late, and I'm sorry about that. But I broke my phone Saturday night. I had to deal with that most of Sunday and then go to work, so I didn't have time to get the last segment of the video filmed. But I got that taken care of, and now we are good to go. So first thing I want to do are shout outs for the supporters of this mock. One of the new things I did want to start for this mock is giving shout outs to everyone who does make a donation to the mock, whether it be on super chats, on the live streams, or just generally on PayPal. I want to give you guys recognition. You really do help this mock become a reality, and trust me, your efforts, I don't want them to go unnoticed. So shout out to Brickmaster, Collecting Bricks, Zandieboi, Xavier Sorrent, Henry Barreras, John Ireland, and Lonely Tent 2. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. And moving forward, anyone who does make a donation, you're going to get a shout out in the update video. So thank you guys for that. This week, I really wanted to focus on getting a lot of the border of the mock done, so you can kind of see it behind me. I was pretty much able to do all I could do with the parts that I have. I made a few parts orders, and none of them have gotten here yet, which is kind of annoying because I'm waiting on that to kind of continue and just get the border of the mock, or more specifically, the landing platform done. But that'll have to wait probably until the next segment. Hopefully those parts come in sometime soon. Another thing that I got started on was the actual landing platform, and it took me so long to figure out how I wanted to accomplish this. There are a lot of various designs in the ground of the landing platform, whether it be arrows or just various shapes and lines and different colors that I have to accomplish with this mock. And I had to employ some interesting building techniques, but I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It really does take me back to that landing platform I did for the Scarif mock, and I'm really enjoying building it. So now that I've kind of figured out exactly what I want to do with it, I feel I'm going to progress a lot faster in the build process. So while I didn't get a ton done on the landing platform this week, I do think that you guys should expect to see more and more being done on the landing platform as we progress forward at a faster rate. So that's going to finish up the intro, guys. Let's go ahead and jump right into the mock. Alright, so first things first, let's look at some prototypes. First thing I want to start off on this mock is just with the general border of it. I think that we had a pretty cool idea when we did the crate border, and I kind of want to continue that at least a little bit. And this is actually what I came up with. I'm thinking that there's a considerable amount of water on the planet, so I want to kind of incorporate that into the sides of at least this landing platform. I don't know if this will be something that continues throughout the entire mock, but I definitely want to do it for the landing platform section that'll kind of be over here. So this is my idea for the edge. I think like something like this will kind of sit here. You can see I use the clear studs to replicate the water. Some people are probably going to ask, why not use like dark blue or something like that? Only because like in the actual game, the water is not very blue at all. It looks more clear than blue, so that's kind of why I'm going with this. And also, I don't know, I think it would just look weird. Like the blue would really, it would contrast not so well with a lot of the grays and darker colors in the mock. So I want to go with clear, and like I said, this is my general idea. For the landing platform, I'm going to build it using a snot technique, so the bricks will be on the side, somewhat kind of like this. And you can imagine that there will just be a lot of bricks that will kind of just spread over the entire thing to do the landing platform. And the reasoning behind that is just to be able to add a lot of the details like what I will get to next. So I'll pull up a picture right now, but there are a lot of like these patterns in the mock, and I've kind of worked out exactly how I will want to do it. So these parallelogrammed stripes, I'm going to need some of those in the mock, as well as these larger ones right here. I realized I didn't have enough of like the inverted yellow slopes to even be able to finish this prototype, but you guys can get the idea. So I'm basically going to have to leave a gap open and then kind of slide these bad boys in there. Those will make up the bigger stripes. This is what I'm going to do for smaller ones. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on the border. I don't know if I have enough inverted slopes to do all of it right now, but we'll see how far I can get. Alright, so we got a lot of the border finished. You can see all of the water has been placed. So many water studs, so many water studs, so many water studs. I can never get away from water studs. Scarif, water studs. Crate had no water studs, but Vardos apparently has water studs, and I'm still building water studs, but it's all good. So I'm glad it's all over. I'm probably going to have more water over in that area. It's going to be basically between where the big tower is going to be and then where the ATA2 will be standing. There's kind of big area of water right there. So that's a long ways to go, so I'm not going to worry about water studs for a little bit of time. But one of the other things I was able to get to is the landing platform. So as you guys probably guessed, due to the fact that I mentioned it in the intro, got a lot of the landing platform done, and I know it doesn't look like a lot of work, but guys, this thing took me forever to figure out. So first things first, you can see that there are a lot of patterns in this, namely these stripes that kind of go across here. And the interesting thing about these is none of these are actually like connected to the plate at all. I think the end, like right here and right here, are actually had like a stud connection, but everything else is kind of just laid in there sideways. So if I really wanted, let me see. Fingernails are not coming in the clutch right now. It's hard to do, but you guys get the idea. These shapes are just kind of laid in there, and the idea is to be able to have kind of a seamless way of putting these stripes in there. And the spacing worked out for the most part. The only thing I had trouble with was right here, like at the very edge. Like the last one was kind of offset, so you can see it's actually connected to a jumper right there, which meant that I had a space that was basically a brick and a half wide, which worked out up here. I was able to just use those like angle plates and then put like a tile on the side to fill the gap. But here and there, there's just nothing I could do. There wasn't enough room to basically put another one of those angle plates and have the tile be 2 studs longer. So I had to improvise. I had to use these pieces right here. And honestly, don't really mind the aesthetic. I think it actually looks kind of cool. It makes it look like there's like vents in the ground or maybe some weathering or damage from like blast or something like that. So I don't super mind it. But that's kind of the implementation I had to come up with. If anything else comes to mind, I'll end up swapping out. But right now, that's what I got, and that's what I'm going to stick to. Another thing to note, that these stripes are actually supposed to be yellow. I just don't have the parts to make them all yellow right now. In fact, if I want to make them yellow, this is literally all I could do right now. I have already placed the order for these. This is just one of the many packages I have placed an order for that aren't here yet. So I'm still waiting for that. And yeah, so I like the design a lot. There's so many of these like various shapes in the ground of Vardos, which is honestly kind of cool just because it makes the landing platform look a lot more interesting, but it also means that I won't have to spend a lot of time working on how I can integrate this into the actual platform. So the general idea is this pattern is going to continue, and it actually stops right here. So in the game, there's like a little indenture right here, and there's like a shiny metallic color like that stripes the very edges of this. So that's why I decided to use those pieces. It's just those like grill tiles, but it's like the shiny version. And on the side, you can't tell they're grill tiles, which is perfect for me because I just need them to be there and look like it's like metallic. So that works out for me. It's going to extend pretty much throughout the entire MOC, going down to the other side. And then there's like a breakpoint here. And then on the other side, it's going to continue with this pattern right here, moving to the very end of the MOC. And there's going to be another one of these like striped patterns on the other side of the Corvus. So the Corvus will be sitting here. Some people ask if I'm going to build a Corvus. Yes, I'm going to build a Corvus. I'm probably going to start designing that actually pretty soon because I need to, you know, figure that out relatively soon, sooner than later. It's going to take a while to figure out, so I want to make sure I get it done sooner than later. But yeah, so gonna have another one of these on the other side, and kind of right here, this was also an interesting thing to figure out with this. So this kind of looks like a street, but one of the other things I had to figure out were these lines. So it basically kind of forms like a square. So there's like a corner right here. There's a corner on the other side that's the same pattern. And then like down here, there's another one and then another one. So all together, if you connected them, they would form a square. But that's something that I also had to take into consideration when building on this MOC. Now, the only way for me to be able to get this shape to like work out is to basically build this section as kind of like a separate assembly. So you can see that to keep, like, rather than just keep building up in that direction, and I would have like just had to use like white bricks to continue the square, I wanted to make it look uniform and I guess just like have the same thickness all the way around, which is why this had to be its own separate thing. And it's actually pretty interesting how this is built. I can show you guys the back of it. Lots of slopes and inverted slopes to kind of recreate this pattern as well. And then I built in the little white part of the stripe into it. So It basically just connects on its side right here, and there's going to be a lot of stuff like this and this landing platform, which is also why I say that it's been kind of fun to build, and I think it's just going to look really nice whenever it gets finished up because of all these patterns. But yeah, I think that it looks really awesome. Took a while to figure out exactly how I wanted to do it, but now I pretty much have the design nailed down, and I'm happy that I can finally get this like square section finished up and just keep extending the landing platform because I want to cover this area of the MOC as quickly as possible. I'm honestly just really excited to see what it's going to look like in the end. So that's actually going to finish up the progress on the MOC, guys. I hope that you're liking what I'm doing on this. I think that these patterns are going to look really cool, and I honestly just can't wait to see them progress even further. So let's go ahead and move out to the end of the video. And that's going to finish up the video today, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed the progress on the MOC so far. I'm just loving the way that the landing platform is coming out, and it's so fun to work on because, I mean, the fact that you get to build snot and there's so many more techniques that you can use to create the various shapes and patterns in the ground, it just makes it look so cool, and it's honestly been a blast for me getting to work on it now that I figured out exactly what I want to do with it. So next week you guys can hopefully expect to see the border around the landing platform fully done, as well as a lot more done on the landing platform, and I'm thinking I want to start on the big door that's going to be on that side, well, more specifically the barricade that kind of keeps the AT-AT from going into the landing platform. So that'll probably be something I work on, and then probably just more details in the like outlining and figuring out exactly where certain buildings are going to go. So the series is really ramping up. I feel I'm going to be able to work on the landing platform a lot more now that I know what I'm doing. So it's a really exciting time to be turning into this MOC. So I really appreciate all of you for coming in and watching the video. Like I always say, guys, if you like what I do, go ahead, support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button, and I'll be back again very soon.